Alright, hello and welcome back to another video. Now today I want to talk about the rather large issue that this game has currently, and that is with botting. Now botting has been in the game for quite a long time. As you may or may not know, it started in Naval, but they are gradually expanding the reach into other game modes such as Ground, Arcade and ARB. And since Gaijin have seemed to shown very little interest in addressing the issue, I wanted to make this more in-depth video just to show you guys how big the issue is and what could potentially be done against it. Now Naval is really where all the botting started, and now I searched the forums and the earliest mention of botting was roughly in October of 2021, so it's actually almost 2 years ago. Now at this time there used to be two types of bots. The first type was where they were using real player accounts, which they probably just went to sleep and turned the bot on, where they just farm a cell in something like a Moffat or a Frank Knox. And well, I guess the Frank Knox didn't exist at the time, so I guess they just used a Moffat or a Jeleznikov or Helena and switched to the secondaries as soon as they spawned in, allowing the main guns to kind of shoot automatically at the time, which is actually no longer possible, but it doesn't matter, and I'll get to why later on in the video. The second type of bot account is the kind of dedicated bot. So you have somebody just smash their keyboard and create a username, something like HDJKKFDD. And they had really a very specific purpose, and that is to abuse the referral G system, where they first got the free catch premium you get when you start a new account, and they went to Spokojny, Krasny Kafkas, and Kirov, and they got to rank 5 that way, and they were able to get GE. Now Gaijin has now since changed that for quite a while, where they now only allow air and ground, I believe, like rank 8 or something along those lines, so I guess they do something against that. Now, the reason as to why Naval was chosen first to bot is because it was the easiest. It's the easiest and most profitable. You spawn in, you middle mouse button, and it tells exactly where you shoot, and what distance you have to shoot at, and where exactly you have to shoot at. And Gaijin made this easier by kind of adding a marker, like a green arrow, as to where to shoot. So it really, doesn't help that they did that. Even if it does make it for new players to play, I don't think it would have been as easy with the old FPS system to bot the game. Circle maps also don't do Gaijin any favors. I mean, there's really no obstacles, no cover, no real variables, and that just makes it easier to bot. I mean, you just select someone, keep shooting them until they disappear, and then rinse and repeat. It's really not that difficult. Also, not so recently, I guess, bots are now manually shooting their guns instead of relying on the targeting mechanic in-game. Now this has been the case way before they actually disabled that feature on the 31st of May of this year, where they said, hey, we're gonna do this thing against botting, and I guess a couple people cheered on. It did nothing, because all the bots don't use that system anymore. They now manually shoot using the FCS. So I guess it took them to take action roughly a year and a half, and in the end it did absolutely nothing and only made the experience for regular players worse, because I actually used that to become an AA when there was a plane approaching me. So yeah, that's not optimal. And I guess Gaijin in general has really taken very little action to prevent these bots, although I guess on the other hand you could argue, how would you prevent them? But it's a bit odd that they take action a year and a half later when it's basically already too late. Fun fact, there's also a full squadron of bots. And I guess here in the following piece of footage, I'll kind of show to you how bad the problem is in a random lobby that I just decided to play. And I'll have myself explain that to you guys. Alright, so here we're in a replay file that I just played on the 23rd of July. So it's been a couple of days now, but I don't think the situation's really changed substantially. And we're just going to go through every single person here in this game and see who's a bot and who's not. And the first thing to distinguish between player and bot is that a bot is always in a premium vessel. So we're going to go through the enemy team here first. Mr. I have no clue what his name is. We're just going to go check his player card and sort by most deaths. And as you can see right here, it's actually surprising that the MiG-23 BN. However, he's played 670 battles, 600 deaths, and barely any air kills, so this is almost guaranteed a bot account already, despite having, I guess, a high tank account or tank kill count. Does not discount the fact that both his Milan and MiG-23 are bot, so I think it's pretty safe to say that this person is a bot. Next person here in a Dimwang, which is also a premium A6C TRAM, he's played, I don't know, 1,400 deaths, 1,500 battles, and barely any targets destroyed. I think it's also pretty safe to say that this person is a bot, not even taking into account the USS Moffat right here with 1,220 battles and only 303 kills. So I think this is also a bot account. Maybe if we go look for his Demoin in the blue water tree, we can see that he has, yeah, I mean, he's only barely botted actually, but I think it's pretty safe to conclude that this person is also a bot. So already 2 bots here. The third person here has a Chinese nickname, so I'm gonna be a bit racist and say, oh, okay, not racist, but I'm gonna safely assume that he's also probably a bot, as you can see right here. The Frank Knox is also a premium, and he has plenty of battles in this thing, and it's very unlikely that he was actually present during those. That's already 3 bots. Alright, fine. Next person here, Helen. I'm gonna start speeding up here a bit. 4,000 battles. I mean, his KD seems to be really good, but, you know, with the new bot aiming, I don't think this is exactly impossible either. And his Milan also looks very poor, so I'm going to say that this is also a bot account. Next person here, Prince Eugen. Mikuma, 4,000 battles, probably a bot. Okay, next. This person right here, level 94, he's only played the Prince Eugen and has barely a positive KD in it. I think this person's also a bot. Next person right here, let's see, this is a bit difficult to distinguish. He's played a lot of battles in the Moffat, but yeah, potentially a bot. I'm gonna put a question mark on this person right here. Next person here, Prince Eugen. I mean, I think the entire enemy team, as far as I know, is in premiums, except for this guy right here. This guy is definitely a player, so good on him. But yeah, here we go, Prince Eugen again. 1,300 battles, and that's really the only naval he's played. So yeah, it's very questionable as to this person is a real player. Jeletsnikov here, let's see. Yeah, bot. Next. This person is a bot. This person is... Oh, this person I don't think is a bot. No, I think this is a real player. Good on him. This person right here is a bot. I didn't even have to read that card to know he was a bot. This person right here, let's see, bot. Yeah, this has to be bot. 12,000 battles and 7,000 kills is impossible. This is bot. This is real player. They're actually launching torpedoes. That's also a good way to distinguish if they're a real player or not. Is if they launch torpedoes, they're almost guaranteed a real player. And this person right here is also a bot. So in total, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 bots on the enemy team out of something like 15, 16 players. Yeah, I haven't even done my own team that I am right here. And if I'm quite honest with you, this person is probably a bot. This person's probably a bot. This person's a bot. This person's maybe a bot. I'm not quite sure. I mean, I think it's already pretty clear on the enemy team that the bot problem is still very present till this day. Now, unfortunately, Naval is not the only game mode victim to botting. ARB has also been, I guess not so recently, started getting affected by bots as well, especially in top tier matches where you see the occasional premium, you know, bombing a base and then kind of flying over the airfield or something. You also see JU-288s at 5.7 kind of just bomb a base and fly in a straight line. They're all bots. And I guess, yeah, these are mostly there to gain SL and RP, just to, I guess, potentially sell the account later. I mean, that goes for really all bots. But, yeah, in general, not optimal. Now, even in ground, we're starting to see bots kind of make themselves at home by going into ground arcade, spawning in premium towns like the 2S38 or T72 Terms or ZTZ96, and essentially just acting as a regular player or an AA by looking into the air, or trying to look for enemies using the middle mouse target select. And to better understand how they work, I actually decided to follow a couple bots around just to see what they do. And yeah, you'll see the results here in the following piece of footage. Now here we see a bot. I guess he's in a T-72. You can tell that he's a bot because he's kind of looking into the sky. And he's actually kind of driving forward, surprisingly enough. He's not just sitting in his spawn. I guess he's in a tank, so being an AA is not an option for him. What I try and do here, to kind of block him, see what he does. And you know, after driving into me, he actually stops going forward, reverses, and what's really interesting now is that he, here we go, actually drives around me. So yeah, these bots don't just drive in straight lines, they legitimately kind of go somewhere in a straight line. And we're actually going to see where this tank goes later on here in this clip. I guess now he's kind of scouting for targets, just spamming down the middle mouse button or target select button, and he's actually machine gunning the fence and actually pinging the point, which I find is extraordinary. We do know he's still a bot though, because he was looking into the sky, but he's doing some really player-like things. And here we go, I guess he's scanning for a couple targets here. He actually goes right here next to this hill after stopping for a bit for whatever reason. I guess he's doing bot things. And he's actually going to eventually climb up this hill here and actually go into a pretty nice hold down position where he can shoot people. Admittedly, I think he may try and engage one here. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, look, it's he's kind of scanning for targets. Not successful though, but still looking around. And I guess now he drives above the hill and tries to go potentially maybe engage the tank in front of him. Looks like he's going to take cover behind this building first though. I just see his big light panzer here. We're just going to quickly shoot at him just for fun. You know, I want to do other things as well. And yeah, I guess he kind of just drives in a straight line towards the capture zone now, and may even actually be going for it because he did ping it on the grid zone earlier. And he actually does shoot on the move here, but unfortunately he does get engaged by an IPM-1, so yeah, I can't really keep tracking him. Now, these bots primarily exist to farm research points. I mean, farming silver lines in these vehicles would be illogical, as it would be faster to do it in Naval. But they probably do this just to sell the account, or even try and get the referral G in the process as well. And it really is only a matter of time before they expand even greater than they have now, and kind of just increase their numbers and increase their accuracy. You know, really not optimal for this game if we want it to continue and survive. Now, I guess in the end you kind of start questioning, how do we actually fix this issue? Now, the best solution would just be to require all accounts to have two-factor authentication. This is, however, unrealistic. You know, having a CAPTCHA before you spawn in also probably won't work because computer vision exists. So the only real effective way to report people, or to, yeah, report people would be to report them. You know, the ability to flag an account for suspicious activity, or just botting in general would really, I guess, help. I mean, right now when you right click someone and try to report them for something, botting isn't actually a category and you only have the other or passive behavior option. I think it would maybe help Gaijin. I mean, I don't know how their support staff handle reports, but it would be nice if there were a dedicated category for botting, just so that people who are kind of more dedicated to that can actually do their work more efficiently. You know, perhaps also even hiring a person to just go after the bots. They could literally just press enter on a Naval game mode, and I can guarantee you more than half the lobby will be bots. And it would certainly help if someone would legitimately be able to just ban them. Although, you know, I guess you would kind of start questioning if they are actually a bot, because they have positive KDs, you know, they're still playing the game, and it's really not easy to actually tell if they're a bot or not for sure, but something has to be done in the end. And that you know, how this issue is solved is really not my specialty either, because, you know, I haven't studied game design or bot prevention or whatever, so that's not my job. That's something for Gaijin to figure out. But you know, I do hope that something is done, because if this keeps continuing, this certainly won't be a positive effect on the game. And I don't think we would like to you know, have warthunder be infested with bots, because that would be rather suboptimal for gameplay experience. I guess on the other hand, ground RB and SB as well as coastal are probably safe. I mean, it's no real incentive to bot those game modes when it's just faster to just spam arcade, because that's just easier to do, and Naval is already extremely profitable in terms of SL. There's no real incentive to go to RB, although actually SB does have some issues where they're like, or at least they did, I'm not sure how the case is now, but they had this issue where there were tons of bots accounts that were being farmed. But I'm not sure if that's the case anymore. Anyway, hopefully you have enjoyed this video here. It would certainly help me out if you'd share it around, just so that you know, more people know about this, and I also, I guess, get a bit more exposure from that, which would you know, be nice. But yeah, in the end, I really hope Gaijin does eventually try to do something against this. I mean, evidently now they haven't done a whole lot, and the things they have done are either delayed or have minimal effect on actually what happens. So yeah, hopefully that changes in the future. Anyway, that does it for me today, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.